Yo, what's up, guys? This is Hunter the Ray Dragon. We are getting into the original Fate Stay Night visual novel. It was a thrust like lightning. A spearhead thrust to pierce my heart. Trying to dodge it would be useless. Being lightning, it's invisible to the human eye. But the lightning that tried to pierce me is repelled by the moonlight that tries to save me. Clang, a beautiful sound. No, the sound before me is heavier than steel. The armor she is wearing is not beautiful at all and as unrefined as the cold night. The sound wasn't beautiful at all. It was actually the sound of steel. No. It's just that the night is beautiful enough to turn it into a charming sound like a bell.
とあなたが私のマスターか
She asked in a voice that lights up the darkness.
召喚に従い参上した。これより我が剣はあなたと共にあり、あなたの運命は私と共にある。ここに契約は完了した。
Yes, the contract had been completed. When she chose me as her master, I'm sure I swore to help her too. The moonlight is still light up. The moonlight still lights up in the darkness. As if following the knight's example, the shed again falls silent. Time has stopped. The scene lasts less than a second, but I'm sure I'll remember this scene vividly even when I'm gone to hell. The face slightly turned. The quiet green eyes. The instant becomes an eternity. The blue outfit symbolizing her sway in the wind. A faint blue light flitters in. The golden hair shines in the moonlight. Fate. This is a story from 10 years ago. I'm watching someone I knew very well. A tall man with a deep-featured face, who to my knowledge has never told a joke, is patting my head. No, that's not quite right. I guess he doesn't know how much strength to use, so to be more accurate, he's grabbing my head and mashing it around. I guess that's only to be expected. After all, that's the first time he's ever patted my head. I'll have to get going now. You know what to do now, right? I answered the deep voice with a polite yes. The man patting my head nods once, lets go, and stands up. So that was it. If I'd known then that it was our final moment together, I would have made him laugh with my best jokes. Her best jokes, she says. Whoops. I had practiced telling jokes a lot in hope that I could bring a smile to his gray face. I guess you could say I was sad that I couldn't tell him any of them. Put the association in your debt by the time you mature. I'll let you decide what to do after that. You should be able to take care of yourself. Even though he said such things, I guess he was still worried. He told me about the heirloom jewels and the jewels inherited from the master and how to manage the basement. As he was telling me all the things I didn't yet know, I realized even as a child that most likely he wouldn't be coming back. A war has started. A war, not a war between countries, but a war between people. But the only ones at war were 7 people. In a situation like this, the word war should be unsuitable, but here It's a different story, as the ones in conflict are magi. The 7 magi, each from a different faction, has started to compete for unknown reasons to kill each other in unknown ways. The man standing before me was one of them. He too was in a position to kill or be killed. He must have known more keenly than I did that his time was near. Ren, the Holy Grail will appear eventually. It is our duty as a Tohsaka family to win it. More importantly, if you want to be a magus, you can't avoid it. Once more, he patted my head and left. That was the end. That was the last time I saw the man who entered the Holy Grail War as a master and died. The man who was my teacher as well as my father.
いってらっしゃいませ、お父様。
I see him off politely. I knew I was on the verge of crying, but I shed no tears. I loved him. He was a great father and a great magus. Among magas, there are only obstinate people. Among magi. In the whole world, I don't think anyone had a better character than his. He taught me as a teacher and loved me as a father. That's why I decided to choose my path according to what he left me in the end. Ren, the Holy Grail War will appear eventually. It is our duty as the Tohsaka family to win it. More importantly, if you want to be a magus, you can't avoid it. In the end, he left me those words as a magus and not as a father. That is why, at that moment, my path was determined.
それじゃあ一つ気合い入れて一人前になりますか。
It's only natural for a student to follow the words of their teacher. Since then, though many twists and turns, Tohsaka Ren, have matured. It has been 10 years since the winter day on which my father went to war. I haven't exactly been waiting for this moment, but I am excited. That's only natural. The event I have never forgot about is about to start. January 31st. Something is ringing.
うるさい。止まれ。
The sound doesn't stop. It rings loudly as if I'm an enemy, but
いいよもう。昨日は遅くまでやってたんだから。もうちょっと。
it should let me sleep in a bit longer. No, it has to let me sleep in. I was deciphering my father's will until early this morning, and I've used up too much magical energy. In other words, my mind and body are dead tired.
気がつの利かないやつ。
I hate those fucking alarms. The alarm clock doesn't speak my language, so why does the ringing sound like it's telling me you're going to be late?
遅刻はまずい。
Though that depends on the situation. I'm a good student, but maybe I can get to school at the last moment just for today. That's right.
あ
Oh.
らかじめ30分ずらして目覚ましをセットしたんだから、あと30分は眠れるはず。
Huh? Isn't that strange?
30分ずらして。
I looked at the alarm clock drowsily. The clock is pointing exactly at 7. I usually get up at 6:30, so the spare 30 minutes have already been used up. Oh, why can't I think when I wake up? I stare at the alarm clock for several seconds. Shutting it off, I decided to get out of bed. Passing through the cold hallway, I entered the cold living room. It's 7 o'clock on the last day of January. Fuyuki City is usually pretty warm in the winter, but this morning it's as cold as any other city. I can even see my breath indoors, and on top of that, there's no one else in the house to warm it up. Turning on the heater, I head to the bathroom. At times like this, living on your own is inconvenient. If there were someone to wake up before me, the living room would be warm by now. I wash my face at the sink. I brush my long hair and get ready. A cold morning, a cold sink. The only advantage is that the cold water clears your sleepiness completely. I tie my ribbon and I'm all ready. All I have to do is eat breakfast and head out. Looking at the clock, it's only a bit past 7 and I'm a bit disappointed. Man, I guess I don't have to run after all. Then again, I would never do anything as clumsy as running to school anyway. It is the custom of the Tohsaka family to act with composure and elegance at all times. Okay, I just got done coughing and my throat is still... Oh, God. Taking a custom like that seriously must mean that my family originated from a very high-class background indeed. Why are we looking at the root? Owning this old Western-style mansion is proof of that. And on top of it, the Tohsaka family is the bloodline of sorcerers able to use the power of magic. God, kill me. If you're talking about age, our family has an ancient history. Actually, I can't speak openly about it at all. Oh, by the way, I, Tohsaka Rin, am a magus. Who on earth can I brag to like that? Magic is just what it sounds like, magic. I don't care if you get ideas like abracadabra or whatever. You can just think of us as people who do strange things by casting spells. Oh, though, it's not like we can fly around on brooms or make stars appear with a wave of a wand. Actually, you can. Ilya has been doing it, but this cave. Before that, well, we could do that, but we don't bother as it's kind of meaningless. Exactly. We're basically heretics who hide ourselves from the world. We're prohibited from standing out, and even if we weren't, we would rather be at home studying magic. On top of that, the word sorcerer is completely inaccurate. To be precise, there are only 5 sorcerers in the world. Things no one can do, things beyond the ability of modern science. The ones who can make such miracles are the ones we call sorcerers. Miracles that can never be achieved regardless of time or effort, those we call sorcery. Those things that are mysterious but achievable with time and effort, those we call magic. That's why what I do is called magic rather than sorcery. It's complicated, but that's how it is, so just accept it. Well, to be honest, the modern world doesn't recognize the existence of mage. As we believe, control and learn things that are immeasurable, our existence is incompatible with the modern world. Because it's kind of meaningless. Going to a normal school and becoming a normal adult will bring you far more happiness than studying magic. Human technology is great. In the past few hundred years, it has been leading the way ahead of magic. Nothing is impossible for humans. The miracles once only passable through magic are now tools and not miraculous at all. Still, magic has its good points. Just as there are things possible only through science, there are also things possible only through magic. It was the master of the Tohsaka family who said that if science is moving towards the future, magic is moving towards the past. Something about the past and the future ending up at the same place, everything always running towards the 0 point. Let's put off all these difficult discussions. They should wait until we're old. Finishing breakfast, I grabbed my bag.
ペンダント持っていかないと。
I don't really want to take the thing to school, but it'd be a waste just to leave it
誰しろ
here.
100年ものの石だものね。うちにある宝石の中じゃダントツで最強だし。
No, that's an understatement. It's much stronger than that. I found this after decoding Father's will last night. It contains the equivalent of 10 years of my magical energy. There was said to be an heirloom, and this might well be it. We, the magi of Tohsaka, are skilled at the transformation of power. We put our magical energy into jewels whenever we have free time. To put it simply, the jewels are bullets and we are the gun. The only other thing I can say I received from my father is the magic crest of the Tohsaka family engraved on my left arm. In essence, this is the proof of the successor, and it's like a tattoo that condenses all the inherent magic of the Tohsaka family.
まだ始まったわけじゃないけど、用心に越したことはないか。
I put the pendant, which can now be said to be my father's memento, into my pocket.
切り札だものね。これに秘められた魔力ならできないことはないぐらいなんだし。
It's 7:30. I should get going or I'll be late for school.
シュミス、フィアファーレントライ。
I weave my words with magical energy quickly. Being a magus, I can't let my guard down when leaving my house. Even though there's never been a single robber, wandering child, nor a stray cat. And I don't think my neighbor has ever come to say hello either.
別にいいけどね。野良猫でさえ入ってこないってどういうことよ。
I look up at the mansion I've grown so accustomed to over the years. Fuyuki is certainly a strange city with modern Western-style houses on this side of town and an area full of Japanese-style houses just beyond the intersection. I guess it's because many foreign families come to live here a long time ago, but even so, I don't see many foreigners around here now. There's a foreigners cemetery in the new city across the river, but it only has the graves of the first generation of
日
families.
本の土が合わなかったのかな。
I'll go to the church and ask the priest sometime. He knows about lots of important things.
あれ？
Stepping outside, I feel a certain incongruity.
なんだろう。思ったより静かなんですけど。
It's essentially quiet, but with no sense of the morning's noisiness. At 7:30, the streets should be filled with students going to school and people going to work.
まあこういう日もあるか。
Perhaps everyone slept in today. Hey. It's unusually cold, so I guess everyone's still wrapped up in their warm beds. It's strange that I haven't seen even one student so far. At 7:30, you could usually see people in uniform here and there. But I'm the only person at the school gates, and it looks like the clubs are just starting their morning practice. In other words, the only explanation is...
あれTohsaka? 今朝は一段と早いのね。
やっぱりそうきたか。
With a small sigh, I turned to the girl who addressed me.
おはよう。今日も寒いね、こりゃ。
This girl, speaking so frankly, is Mitsuzuri Ayako. She's my classmate in class 2A, and there are a lot of stories about
お
her.
はよう、三つづりさん。つかぬことを聞くけど、今何時だかわかる？
何時って7時前じゃない。Tohsaka寝ぼけてる？
She waved her hand in front of me, wondering if I'm alright. She is one of the few friends who know I am not a morning person. In other words, she thinks I'm not fully awake
う
yet.
ちの時計1時間早かったみたい。しかも軒並み。目覚まし時計はおろか、柱時計まできっかり早まってた。
Really, just what's going on here? Did father arrange for all the clocks to go mad when the pendant was removed from the basement?
Tohsaka?
気にしないで。別に大したことじゃないから。それより、三つづりさんは今日も朝練？
弓道部は問題児も多いし、上手いのが一人減ったからね。4月の新入生獲得のために少しぐらいは見栄えを良くしとかないと。
そう。気苦労が絶えないのね、相変わらず。
他人事だからって言ってくれるわ。あ、ついでだから見ていく？Tohsakaが見学する分には男どもも喜ぶけど。
弓道部か。
I have three acquaintances in the archery club. One is Ayako, the person before me right now, and the other two are people I barely talk to. And for one of those two, the word acquaintance doesn't really suffice. I became friends with Ayako because I had been watching the archery club from afar.
そうね。様子を見るだけなら付き合うわ。早く来すぎたからやることもないし。
よし、じゃあ善は急げ。早速行こう。
The impressive archery range is one of our school's outstanding aspects. Perhaps the director is just interested in archery, but the range is much too fancy for a mere school club.
ほらほら、まだ開始まで時間があるし、中でお茶しようぜ、Tohsaka。
Happy about something, Ayako drags me in by the hand. It's a bad habit of hers. She talks like a guy when she's expressing her true feelings. As Ayako said, there's no one in here. While sipping hot tea, we prepare for today's class. The tea tastes really good in this morning winter environment.
さて、単刀直入に聞くけど、そっちの調子はどうなのよ、Tohsaka。いい加減頼りになる相棒は見つかった？
So, as there's no one else around, Ayako comes straight out and asks me a ridiculous question.
ほんと、いきなり本題に入るのね、あなたは。その言いぶりだと、そっちはもう見つけたんだ。
ノーコメント。 遠坂が手を沸かすまではこっちも秘密さ。で、どうなのよ。その疲れた顔を見ると脈ありって感じだけど。
こっちもノーコメント。あなたに隠してもどうせ見抜かれるか。残念ながらこっちはまだよ。綾子の方はお互いのんびりしてる余裕はないはずだけど。
そうなんだけど、私も雲行きは怪しいわ。とりあえず取り繕うことはできるけど、ことがことでしょ。この先の命運がかかってるんだから妥協するわけにもいかないし。
勝手に決めて私に負けるのも嫌？
もちろん私にとって重要なのはあんたを任すことだもの。何が手に入るとか何を手に入れるとかは二の次よ。
She laughs boldly.
似た者同士ね、私たち。
ええ、初めて会った時に言ったでしょ。あんたとはそういう関係にあるんだって。
Yes, she did indeed. I was certainly surprised when, at our first meeting, she said, we'll probably end up with a kill or be killed relationship. Or in other words, unless we go all out against each other, we'll never really be friends. I agree with her on that, and that's why we had a friend or foe relationship for 2 years.
ところでさ、私たちなんでこんな話してるんだっけ？
なんでって言い出したのは遠坂でしょ。あんたがいつまでも彼氏がいないのは女としてどうよなんてこぼすもんだから。なら3年になる前にどっちが先に男作るかって勝負になったんじゃない。
Oh, God.
ああ、そうだった。売り言葉に買い言葉ってやつだった。で、遅れを取った方が一日言いなりになるんだっけ？
ええ、今時子供でも交わさない約束だけど、あんたと私に限って往生際が悪いってことはないでしょ。どんな結果になろうと負けた方はおとなしく勝者に従うことになる。それを思うと私は今から楽しみで楽しみで。
Ayako laughs. Honestly, she's so serious about this. Mitsuzuri Ayako is such a difficult person to deal with. Though I can't wait to be Ayako either, so neither of us are people who you want to deal with.
そう。
I see.
けど三辻さん、楽しむのは結構だけど目的を違えないよう気をつけなさい。勝負の内容は後先だけじゃないでしょ。
わかってるって。遠坂より早く遠坂が心底羨ましがるような関係にならないと完全勝利とは言えないからね。ま、私たちにとってはそれが一番厄介な問題なんだが、どんなにいい男だろうと好きになれなきゃ意味がない。
A conundrum. Ayako sighs heavily. To my knowledge, Mitsuzuri Ayako is said to hate men. Rumors are never to be trusted, however, as she suggested this match rather than hating men, I think she just didn't have a chance. But that
ちょっ
aside,
と、私たちって何よ、私たちって。断っておきますけど、私はそっちと違って冷血感じゃありません。男の子を好きになるなんて問題でも何でもないわ。
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づいていないだけ。遠坂が男を気にかけるなんてことは絶対ないもの。今まで数えきれないぐらい告白されたくせに一つも色良い返事してないじゃない。少しでも興味があるなら付き合おうって思うでしょ。なのに断り続けるってことはあんたは男に興味がないってことよ。
no, it's just that she can tell that none of the guys who ask her out are any good.
発想が貧困ね。その場合、すでに好きな相手がいるから断ってるって話もありじゃない？
Well, that's true as well.
おお、すっごい美談。いいね、そういうの。ロマンだな。
Ayako nods seriously, not making fun of me. Her sigh says, wouldn't it be nice if that was the case? Well, that actually is the case. Jeez. I really can't keep anything from her.
そうね。 私もそう思う。
Really? You want to sit here and lie? Well, it's exactly as she says. No, it's not. I know myself how cold I am.
認めるわ。私、こと恋愛に関しては素人みたい。
そういうこと。似た者同士だって言ったの遠坂でしょ。もうじき7時か。秘密の話はこの辺にしとこう。いつ人がやってくるかわからないし、朝になったら学生らしく振る舞わないとな。
まあ、三辻さんにもそういう世間体があったなんて意外だわ。ええ、これだけでも早起きした甲斐があったみたい。
あんたほど筋金入ってないけどね。私の世間体なんて遠坂凛に比べたら灯籠の斧ってもんよ。あんたの猫っかぶりは擬態っていうより別人格のレベルよ。別人格。
Ayako gives an exaggerated sigh. Both of the teas she made are now empty and it's my turn to make it.
で、遠坂はどうして部活に入らないのよ。運動神経がないなんてされごとは聞かないからね。私は去年の体力測定でことごとくあんたに負けたのまだ恨んでるんだから。
あら、肺活量では三辻さんに負けたわよ、私。あと、体重も三辻さんのが上だったけど。
やったー、重さで3キロ上回った。
Okay.
って体重で勝っても嬉しくないってのよ、このタヌキ。
Uh-oh. Ayako slams on the table.
危ない。お茶がこぼれるでしょ、三辻さん。首相なんだから道場は大事になさい。
うるさい。私は首相である前に遠坂のライバルだ。
Wait, how does that work?
部員がいなけりゃあんたに食ってかかるのは当然よ。
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Ayako looks at me with narrow eyes. This girl has her own sense of beauty and she always says beautiful people have to do some kind of martial arts. She's a bold person experienced in most martial arts. She joined the archery club with no experience and is now the captain as if it were only natural. She's probably one of the top 3 people in the school you should never disobey regardless of gender.
あら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
問題発言なもんですか。私はお飾りの首相だから、できることって言ったら不良部員を取り締まることだけよ。私以上にしゃがりっぱなやつがいるんだから、首相としての面目なんてないわ。
そうなの？藤村先生、三辻さんは飛び抜けてうまいって言ってたけど。
あの人がそう言うんなら、そりゃ少しは自信が持てるけど、まあいなくなっちまったやつのことなんて考えても仕方ないか。そうね、藤村先生がそう言ってくれたんなら真面目に首相やんないとまずいか。
そうそう、噂をすれば影。そろそろ部員がやってくる頃でしょ。私はおいとまするけど、三辻さんはきちんと首相になりなさい。
何、見ていかないの？
見てもわからないもの。遠くから眺める分にはいいけどね。不心得者が道場にいるわけにはいかないでしょ。
Just as I rise, someone entered the range.
おはようございます、首相。
Sakura.
ああ、おはようマ
Tohsaka
ト。
Sakura.
今朝は一人？
はい、力になれず申し訳ありません。
ああ、いいっていいって。本人が弓をやらないって言うんなら無理をさせても仕方がない。
Ayako addressed the club member who just
それ
entered.
じゃあ失礼するわ。また後でね、三辻さん。
ああ、また後でね、遠坂。
お疲れ様です、遠坂先輩。ありがとう。さくらもしっかりね。
I leave the range trying not to interrupt them.
やあ、遠坂。お
Ah,
はよう。
fuck.
朝から君に会えるなんてついてるな。
Bad luck. I've run into someone I don't want to see.
おはよう、マトウ君。今日は早いのね。
当たり前だろ。首相なんだから。早めに来ないと一年に示しがつかないじゃないか。
This smiling guy is Mato Shinji of Class 2C. He's the vice captain of the archery club and owner of the hearts of half the girls in the school. Kind of an idol, good looking, good grades, sociable, and kind of girls. I'm not too well informed in such areas, so I've only heard all of this from my classmates.
そう。ご機嫌なところ悪いんだけど、一文字抜けてるわ、マトウ君。大事な字だから忘れない方がいいと思うけど。
一文字抜けてるって何がさ。
幸福の福。字は違うけど響きは一緒でしょ、副首相さん。気をつけなさい。別に首相も副首相も変わらないけど、変に意識するとこだわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ。
そうだね。今後は気をつける。ありがとう、遠坂。
お礼を言われるようなことはしてないけど、まあ、
Passive
マトウ君が
aggressive
そう思った
much?
のなら私には関係ないか。
Bidding him goodbye, I leave the range.
ちょっと待てよ。見学に来たんだろ。なら見ていけばいいじゃないか。遠坂なら大歓迎だよ。
遠慮するわ。練習の邪魔をしたくないもの。
そんなの構わないよ。他の連中が気に障るんなら締め出すからさ。ちょっと寄っていけって。
だから邪魔をする気はないって言ってるでしょ。
She don't want to be a bother, stop.
それに私別に弓道に興味があるわけじゃないから。知らない奴のシャを見ても嬉しくないわ。
ん？なんだよ、遠坂。弓道に興味はなかったのか。へえ。だっていうのに放課後になると遠くから見てたのはそういうわけかな。
Your point? I don't know what he thinks the reason was, but he's undoubtedly making a big misunderstanding.
知ってたの、マトウ君。
ああ、よく目があったんだぜ。僕と遠坂。シャを終えてさ、斬新の時に限って遠坂は僕を見ていたろ。
No.
声を返したかったけど一応決まりでね。射場では声を上げちゃいけないんだ。
As if happy about something, Senji moves in closer to me. His smile carries a sense of
勘違いして
superiority.
たよ。遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど、弓道には興味がないんだろ。ならなんで遠坂の
You
道
are
場を見ていた
overstepping
の
your
か。
bounds, bro. You about to get decked in the face. Oh, I see now. Yes, the conversation could certainly have been taken that
離れて
way.
くれないかしら、マトウ君。私あまり人に近寄られるのは好きじゃないし。
ん？なに？遠坂？
She said, move, motherfucker.
呆れた。ここまで言ってもわからないのね。
But break some teeth.
趣味じゃないけど仕方ないか。簡単にあなたにも理解できるように言ってあげる。いい、マトウ君。私は弓道に興味がない以上にあなたに興味はないって言ってるのよ。実際あなたが射場にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし、きっとこれからも目に入らないわ。
Ruthless.
なんだと。
That means back up before you get fucked up. As if I've angered him, he reaches out for me violently. I easily avoid it and turn my back on him.
それじゃあね、マトウ君。自意識過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにしておいた方がいいわよ。
遠坂、お前。
You better watch it. He sounds like he wanted to say more, but it doesn't seem like he's going to scream or come after me. Jeez, he really is all show. If he was just a little bit more mature, he wouldn't be so much trouble for the people around him. From the back of the school where the archery range is based, I enter the school building. It's past 7, but I can't see anyone in the hallway. Speak of the devil and she shall arrive. Good morning.
藤村先生。おはよう、東坂さん。ちゃんと挨拶してくれて先生は嬉しいよ。
The strange woman seems to be crying of happiness. I had to believe, but this person of surpassing friendliness and cheerfulness is a teacher at the school.
先生、ちゃんと挨拶をする以外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか。あるわよ。1年生はちゃんと挨拶してくれるんだけどね、上級生になってくると私の名字で挨拶しないんだから。東坂さんはああいう輩の真似しちゃダメだからね。はあ、よくわかりませんけど、先生に失礼なことはしませんが。よしよし。ああ、みんながみんな東坂さんみたいだったらいいのにな。
Fujimura sensei waved goodbye and leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Fujimura sensei teaches English. She has such a kind face, but she also has a black belt in kendo, and I hear she was respected as the Tiger of Fuyuki in her student days. Though that's a bit strange. Wouldn't a tiger normally be feared, not respected? Apparently in a good mood, Fujimura sensei heads for the archery range. For some reason, she's in charge of the archery club and not the kendo club. It's almost 7:30. I can see a few students doing club activities outside, but there's no sign of anyone in the school building. But still.
Tohsaka.
Uh-oh. I bump into someone who greets me rudely.
あら、生徒会長。こんな朝早くから校舎の見回り？それとも各部室の手入れかしら？どっちでもいいけど相変わらず豆ね、そういうとこ。
My boy has something against girls.
そういうお前こそ何を企んでいる？部活動もしていないお前がこんな早くに何の用か？
Oh my god, look at this dude's face. Just disapproval. Ida, is this your long lost brother? We found Ida's older brother.
ただの気まぐれよ。竜斗くんちみたいに早起きじゃないもの、私。
The student president makes an unhappy face. For some reason, I seem to be his enemy. I really don't know why. Perhaps it's just because I said skip the tempos. They're boring in the meeting to plan for the field trip.
一つ聞いておくが、最近夜遅くまで校舎にいたことはあるか、登坂？
ないわね。私が帰宅部だって知ってるでしょ、竜斗くんは。
当然だ。生徒会長を任された以上、全校生徒の情報は把握している。
そうなら私に聞くまでもないでしょ。なんだってそんなことを聞くか知らないけど、生徒会の仕事を部外者に押し付けちゃまずいんじゃない？情報収集は一人でやりなさいよ。私みたいな部外者に頼らないで。
たわけ、お前のどこが部外者だ？うちの会計の首根っこ掴んで悪さをしたのを知らぬと思ったが、このメギツレ。
Evil deeds on our treasurer, you fox. What?
あら、人聞きが悪いわね。あれは三辻さんに頼まれて部費の割合を明らかにしただけでしょ。みんなの予算がどこに使われているか調べるなんて生徒として当然の行為だと思うけど。
なんと うちの会計を1週間休ませた精神的ダメージが当然の行為なのか。とんでもない倫理観をお持ちのようだな、相変わらず。
あなたもね、部下の手綱ぐらいちゃんと握ってなさい。文化系ばかりひいきするのはフェアじゃないわ。
分かっている。だからこそ俺の手で不正を正したかったのだが。
伊勢、修理終わったぞ。
And then, a guy appears who I didn't expect to find here.
悪い。頼んだのはこっちなのに、エミヤに任せっきりにしてしまった。許せ。
そんなこと気にするな。で、次はどこだよ。あんまり時間ないぞ。
ああ、次は視聴覚室だ。前から調子が悪かったそうなんだが、この度ついに天寿を全うされた。
天寿全うしてたら直せないだろ。買い直した方が早いぞ。
そうなんだが、一応見てくれると助かる。俺から見れば臨終だが、お前から見れば仮病かもしれん。
そうか。なら試そう。
Using Shirou as the handyman. The student council president leaves with the male student. My thoughts have stopped at this sudden event. The guy with wrenches and spanners in hand turned back as if remembering something.
朝早いんだな、遠坂。
And with that, he leaves. Was that supposed to be a greeting? The student whom the president called Emiya leaves quickly. Emiya, that would be Emiya Shirou from class 2C.
それはいいんだけどさ。
How can I put it? I just think it's hard to tell whether a guy who looks at home holding a wrench is useful or scary. It's 7:30 in the morning and there's no one in class 2A. Well, I guess I'll study ahead. I sit at my desk and work on a few math problems. There's 30 minutes until homeroom. I guess I'll just be bored until my classmates arrive. Fourth period ends and the noisy lunch breaks begin. Our school has a cafeteria, but half of the students stay in the classroom. Actually, most of the ones who stay are girls. The cafeteria food is rather roughly made, so girls tend to dislike it, and as a result...
遠坂さん、よかったらお昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか？
Girls end up eating lunch together like this.
ありがとう、三枝さん。けどごめんなさい。私今日は学食なんです。今朝は寝過ごしてしまってお弁当を作る余裕がなかったものですから。
The poor girl's just trying to be friends.
いや、そうなんですか。ごめんなさい。そうとも知らず呼び止めてしまって。
Really?
私、余計なことしましたね。
Suegusa-san looked downcast as if apologizing. She's one of the calmest in the class, full of calm students and a kind person who cares about me for some
余計
reason.
なことだなんて、そんなことはありません。今日はたまたまだから気にしないで。また明日、これに懲りず声をかけてください。
I smile at her from the bottom of my heart.
はい。でも、遠坂さんでも寝過ごすことがあるんですね。
My smile must have relaxed her as she returned it with her own. Her smile is cute. Suegusa Yukika, the sign, isn't the most beautiful person, but her smile warms the hearts of everyone around her.
そうなんです。なんとかごまかしてますけど、本当は寝ぼすけなんですよ、私。部活だって朝起きられないから入ってないんです。
Wait a minute, this little girl is the girl Kid Gil hits on in Hollow Atyrexia later on. I just remembered that. Suegusa-san's expression reveals her surprise. Her presence really relaxes me, but I can't just have fun talking. If I keep talking to people like this, I'm bound to reveal my true
それ
self.
じゃあ食堂に行ってきます。三枝さんもごゆっくり。はい、遠坂さんも。
We exchanged a warm goodbye and she returned to her group of girls. It seems she's eating with Makidera-san and Himura-san. Oh yeah, Suigusa-san is the manager of the track team. Makidera and Himuro-san are the track team's hopefuls. Makidera is a friend I sometimes go window shopping with, but I don't know Himuro-san that well.
売られたね、ゆきっち。だから言ったでしょ。遠坂は弁当持ってこないって。釣りたかったらあいつの分も飯用意しないとね。
マキ、それは私たちも食堂に移動すればいいだけの話では。
ダメダメ、食堂は狭いんだから。弁当組が座れるスペースなんてねっての。それに遠坂と同席してみなさい。男どもの視線がうざいのなんの。
Wait, men would glare at you girls? What the fuck?
前の休みだってさ、二人で遊びに行ったのに。
Why would the men glare at the girls?
やだよね、美人を鼻にかけた優等生は。
Makidera speaks without thinking as the girls surrounding Suigusa-san's desk. In contrast to her nasty mouth, she's a Japanese beauty who looks wonderful in a kimono.
君の陰口は遠坂城に聞こえているようだが。
In contrast to Makidera's loudness, Himuro is the cool steady type. Steady type, steady, not sturdy.
遠坂に聞かれた。ゲゲ、めっちゃ睨んでるじゃん、あいつ。
She's not actually glaring at you.
別に遠坂さん、マキちゃんを睨んでなんかないと思うけど。
At this point, she's used to you.
睨んでんだよ、あれ。あいつは笑ってる時が一番怖いんだから。なんだよ、いいじゃんか口ぐらい。多めに見ろよ。私と遠坂の仲だろ。たい焼きおごってやっただろ。
She waves her chopsticks, puffing out her cheeks. The knowledge that this girl's hobby is collecting wind chimes just shows that the world is far too complex. Anyways, it's not good for Suigusa-san to keep watching this. She's panicking, seeing Makidera continuously talk bad
気に
about
し
me.
ないでいいのよ、三枝さん。それと牧寺さん、おごらされたのは私で、品物はたい焼きではなくクレープでした。無意識に事実を改ざんする悪癖、次あたりに直さないと考えますよ。マジ怖え、あの笑顔。
Makidera hides behind the lid of her lunchbox. Saying goodbye to the three of them, I leave the classroom. I shut the door behind me. And then...
なんだよ、大差ないじゃんか、たい焼きもクレープも。どっちも甘いの、皮で包んでるんだからさ。
Makidera's words are ones girls should never speak.
たい焼きとクレープが同じですって？
Is she really a girl? Are all sweets the same to her? Perhaps she just has very convenient taste buds that can't tell a 500 yen crepe from an 80 yen taiyaki, but why I could have, say, 420 yen if I just brought you taiyaki to begin with.
何本気で悔しがってるんだ私。
Because you're a girl. I guess I'm still tired from last night. The cafeteria would be too much effort, so I'll just get a drink and some bread and eat on the roof. I buy lunch and head for the empty rooftop. It's a convenient location as no student would come near it in the wintertime. It's too cold to eat, but that's a small price to pay for being able to eat without worrying about other people.
とりあえずご飯と。
I start on my tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink. It's a simple lunch, but the taste is much improved in this peace and quiet. I finish my sandwich and my hot lemon drink. I'm a bit tired. It's a difficult balance being a good student while trying not to be too social. It's my vanity, no, my conviction that I must be number one both academically and physically. If I am to be a student, I want to be the best, and it's unthinkable for me to dishonor the Tohsaka name. So that's why I'm a perfect student, flawless in all aspects. But at the same time, I also have a dangerous job as a mage, so I shouldn't associate with normal people. Normally, any mages whose identity is discovered has no choice but to eliminate the witnesses. I don't want to do that. So inevitably, my social life has become a shallow one. I only hang out with Makidera on weekends, and I try to refuse invitations from friendly people like Suegusa-san. Even though I'm the best honor student in the school, I live trying not to become too important to anyone. Though sometimes when I'm tired like this, it makes me think that this life is rather boring.
もう時間か。
I finish my hot lemon drink and stand up. I should stop droning in a sentimentality and go back to being the usual Tohsaka Ren once I go down the stairs.
ではホームルームを終了する。日直は日誌と戸締まりの確認を。部活動のない生徒は速やかに帰宅するように。
2A's homeroom teacher exits after repeating his usual line. As far as I know, this line hasn't changed all year.
遠坂、今日はもうお帰り？
ええ。朝方麻藤君と一見あったし、面倒になる前に帰るわ。
やっぱりそうか。麻藤のやつ、今朝は特に荒れてたからさ。
そう、迷惑をかけてしまったかしら、三辻さん。
別に、麻藤が下級生をいびるのはいつものことだし。あれはあれでいい精神鍛錬になるよ。
そう、よかった。じゃあ、この埋め合わせは。
はいはい。これに懲りず、また寄っていってちょうだい。
I head straight home. It's not like I don't have any business with the archery club or the student council, but I haven't had enough free time for them these past few days. Once I leave the school, Tohsaka Ren is no longer a student. The rest of the day is not for myself as a student. Instead, I must become a mage of the Tohsaka family.